Hello and welcome to Apropos, a conversation between Clojure programmers that starts 10 minutes late every time. We're going to discuss a few Clojure news items and share our opinions on them. Then we'll jump into a REPL and code some exercises. If you're joining us live, feel free to comment in the chat and we'll try to address the questions. So the panel today, we have Mia.
Hello.
Mike.
Hello.
Ray.
Hello.
And I'm Eric. Hello.
Well, that's good.
Okay, so we have some news items today to talk about.
What's been going on in the world?
Oh, too much has been going on. Our list is really big today. I can find it.
So what's this thing about everyone getting paid more than everyone else? This is a weird concept to me.
Yeah, the Clojure salary, average salary is so high. Yeah, what's the or the median salary?
Do you believe that? Is
So
that true?
I actually think it tracks with. I think it tracks with years of experience. Like it tracks very strongly with. We're now seeing developers with more years of experience are doing Clojure, or rather, the remaining Clojure developers have more years of experience.
Right.
So if you think of salary,
is that
if you think of salary as a function of how long you've been doing development, which is sort of how it increases.
So I wonder if you could mathematically undo that effect and see what the real unbiased or whatever it would be. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I have thought about trying to parse out that data because there's something going on where it's the top right corner and there's a whole huge cluster of languages in the bottom left corner where you've got your JavaScript, your PHP, that kind of stuff is bottom left corner, meaning few years of experience and low salary. And then Clojure is near the right corner, which is high experience, number of years of experience, and high salary. But it's above.
Number.
What's that?
But it's a small community. That's the thing.
It's a small community.
If you're looking at JavaScript developers, they're all the way from the browser to the Node.js to the So there's a whole range there. Right. So the pool, I think Mia's right. I mean, a lot of it's to do with just the thinner. As you get a bigger pool, the average almost inevitably goes down. Because you're going to have fewer years of experience in that pool.
Right.
Because of the.
Because more people are going to join it.
Right.
Yeah, more people are going to join it at a younger age.
Right, because it's skewed. The community already skews young.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, if you go to a JavaScript conference, as I've been wont to do in the past, sorry, Eric, but it's quite a young crowd,
Yeah, for sure.
But nice. So isn't that? Do we not have that same skew in the Clojure world, or is it? That's what we're saying? I guess is it's not there.
Is it? It's more likely, much more likely than chance that someone's first language is going to be JavaScript rather than Clojure.
Yeah,
right.
Fair enough. Yeah.
There's more JavaScript boot camps. There's more JavaScript, workshops on the weekend, and so, yeah.
And also, it reflects the state of Clojure survey. The survey showed a much higher number of people who answered the questions had more experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It reflects what we know about the community.
Yeah. I've never seen any evidence of people willing to pay me more just because I know Clojure. Right?
Yeah, that's the bullshit part of it to me. It's kind of annoying that Clojure per se is not worth any more than JavaScript. It's just I think Mia's got the point perfectly nailed on, which is that if you've got more experience, then you tend to get more money no matter what language it is.
But for that spot on the graph, it is the highest, and it's significantly higher than other things of that same number of years of experience.
I mean, I do think there is probably a small premium placed on a niche language. You're going to have to work harder to find more devs, and then you're going to want to retain them.
Right. I mean, I think that there's something.
That's a negative
going on
point,
there.
Though, isn't it? Actually, in some ways.
Well, I think there's a lot going on this graph, like that would require like regression analysis of the actual data to figure out what's going on. But like I speculate like stuff like the JavaScript pool, the Java pool. If you just look at how they're skewing on not on the years of experience, but just on the salary, it seems like people are like moving out of those languages. Like they use those as their first language as a stepping stone to learn the next language, which gives them a higher salary. And then, so people change language as their years of experience goes up, right? They move out of a space and so their salary increases along with it. There's also stuff like, one thing that people complain to me about a lot is like, oh, there aren't enough Clojure jobs. Look how many JavaScript jobs there are. And I'm like, yeah, there's more jobs, but there's way more programmers. And so the number of dollars in that market might be really high, but you're splitting it among all these other programmers. Whereas in Clojure, it's much smaller ecosystem, but less competition.
Also, location distributions of salaries.
Right. Yes.
So if first of all, Clojure tends to be used by fintech and by small startups
in first world countries.
Yep, fintech startups in general, and fintech in general is loaded, right?
Right. Yeah. I think that's why F# is there too.
Higher than, it probably pays higher than industry average. And if you're in a small startup, you're probably living somewhere where you have to pay higher than industry average in order to retain talent.
But also, small startups is pretty low. I don't know if you noticed that.
So, but Haskell is used a lot in academic research. Yeah. So if you're an academic, you're being paid nothing, right? That's how they get you.
How they get you.
Mm-hmm. Nurses and academics. Yeah.
Huh. Wow. It's just an interesting like section of languages above the line and versus the ones below the line.
So talking about money then, what about this Red Planet thing?
Okay. Yes. Red Planet Labs is a new
they're going to make the world a better
funded
place. Yeah.
A secret mode, stealth mode startup happening that's going to 100x everyone who uses it.
Oh man. Yeah, I remember the first season of Silicon Valley, and it's like it's straight off. We're going mobile, local. We're going to make the world a better place. You know, I'm sure Nathan is a sincere person, but it does come off a little bit like that, you know.
But they're trying to reinvent programming, it seems, using Clojure. Yeah. They've got a lot of money. So if you don't mind spending Silicon Valley billionaire money.
Honestly, they haven't got that much money, you know. I only say that because if you looked at the last 5 years of money going into things, it's been in the blockchain. And those ICOs, those people have had billions. I mean, you know, not just like 5 million. They've had billions. So, and what's happened there, you know? Because that, by the way, was meant to reinvent programming. You know that.
So I don't think we've seen the last of it actually.
I hope not, because I'm in a blockchain startup. So
this is not on the notes. But Andreessen Horowitz just officially made themselves not a VC anymore, right? Okay. They are no longer a venture capital firm. They are now, I forget what some other kind of money bullshit. There's some other kind of firm that is allowed to speculate in and invest in cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency technology. Oh. So when you have a big VC mover making a change like that, like it means that the money is not out of crypto yet. They're just waiting for it to settle down. Is how I read that.
That's a really good point. I mean, I think that I hope and I pray that there's a lot of money left on the blockchain table, you know. But I'm just saying that in terms of funding, you know, the Red Planet guys have got a chunk of change. There's no doubt about that. You know, they've got enough money to pay a few salaries for a few years. But you know, I think $5 million, $5 million. I mean, that gets you.
Well,
what?
£5 million is a lot more than $5 million.
Yeah.
Well, $5 million for like pre-product startup,
That's a lot.
like it's a good, and it's not the end of their money, you know.
Oh no!
It's just the first.
They've got
first
money. I'm just trying to say that if you're saying that like with 5 million, it would be very interesting, because even if you go 100x and you say, okay, it's 5 billion, then we've kind of had that investment in some parts of the software industry recently, and it didn't make that much change. So I'm kind of a long way around. I'm saying it's interesting to take a different perspective on it, you know, because blockchain didn't, you know, the cryptocurrency revolution didn't pan out. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do, you know, what they eventually come up with, rather than it being just a platform, or, you know, how do you get traction in this world where, you know, you're a small startup and you're using a niche language. It will be, it's going to be fascinating to see, you know, but I'm kind of like a little bit hesitant, to be honest, you know.
Hesitant about what?
About their chances of success to reach the goals they've established.
For sure, but
what are they really doing?
Same with every startup, right? Like most of them don't make it. They're 100x
computing, you know? They're making life better for everyone, improving the world, you know.
Well, it sounds like it's dev tooling things, which
they want to make. They're reinventing program, just like Eve was trying to do. With Light Table that turned into Aurora, that turned into Eve.
Like Brett Victor's doing with these Lua labs, you know, these.
Right. Although he's not making an economic argument. He's just, you know, having, I don't know, experiments, kind of R&D kind of stuff.
Sure, but you know.
Anyway, I think it's a win for the Clojure community. That a few Clojurists can get $5 million and hire a bunch more Clojurists, and you don't even know what they're doing.
That's why the salaries are so high on that chart, by the way.
Oh man!
Just the two.
Like Nathan is one of the things in that dot there.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn it! They skewed it.
Nathan's a dot.
It is the median salary. He's the outlier. Not the he is not.
Oh, stop breaking the joke with facts, Eric.
Okay.
No, any new Clojure thing is good.
Yes.
I want to see what they make. Yeah.
So, Mike, are you ready with your talk for next week?
Getting there, yeah. It's like, what is it, like 8 days away now?
Yeah, you can do it.
Oh, yeah.
You do your taxes, though.
Yes, that's tough. Like, putting together a talk is a lot of work, and then to throw like the need to do taxes at the same time.
Right.
Like, man, maybe I should just not pay my taxes anymore. I'm tired
Good
of it.
idea. Good idea.
Go to conferences instead.
Do a whole go on strike.
I'll just move to Canada. Pay taxes there.
Cool. And what are you speaking about exactly for the?
It's the it's a talk about the type inference system inside of Clojure. So it'll show like what that does for you, kind of like a deep technical dive into it. So,
that'll be very cool.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff added to the Clojure script compiler over the past 2 years or so. So that's what the talk is going to be delving into, is that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
It looks like an interesting conference as well, Clojure North.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it the first time they've done it, by the way, or is it?
Yeah,
it is. It's the very first one. Yeah.
Yep, in Toronto.
Toronto, yeah.
Oh, I want to go to Toronto.
It looks like there's a reasonably growing Clojure community up there.
Yes, they do. They have some nice sized companies that are kind of the base, and all these other ones around. Yep. Kira Systems is one of them. Yeah, a nice community up there.
Oof, I am only counting. Looks like one lady among the speakers. Oh no! Oh no! You know, it's hard to get speakers in general. It's hard to be able to take time off to speak and to put your stuff together. Oh, it's It's very sad.
That is a tech problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, putting together like a lot of these talks, people make it look easy, right? But it's actually a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, yeah. And you need to be in a comfortable position with your career and with your current job, current position to do that, which is easier for dudes for a whole lot of reasons.
Okay.
Well, I sympathize with people with kids because I'm kind of the primary caretaker of my kids. And so when I have to give a talk, which I can't right now, I have a baby, and I have to lean on everybody, and the people I lean on are leaning on their work, and it's tough. So I can truly sympathize. It's hard.
Yeah, but I think also it's a truth that but without speaking, I think there's, in all programming communities, there's underrepresentation, So there's also that factor, if you've only got,
it's definitely
10% of the programmers that are ladies or underrepresented groups, then, you've got a smaller pool. So regardless of the comfort factors, you've just got a numbers game, which is unfortunate,
The website looks really nice.
One day I'm going to tell my story about Clojure Sync and getting speakers from other underrepresented groups at Clojure Sync. It was not easy, but I think one of the I want to say mistakes, but it's not what I mean. But one of the things you shouldn't do if you want to encourage that is have an open, like completely open call for proposals. I think you have to go and seek people out. Because I don't know, you're already like skewing it toward the general population instead of the people you want to.
It's like in politics. They now in the UK at least, or some of the parties, they have all lady shortlists to increase the representation, and I think that's kind of where we have to go to eventually.
Where I did my internship, there was an interview quota. It wasn't a hiring quota; it was an interview quota. So if you were however many people, if you were interviewing 4 people for a position, 2 of them had to be women. And it ended up with a very even gender distribution. Like where I was actually working, I was never outnumbered in a room, despite being in a hard science. But that's an interview quota. It's not a hiring quota. You hire whoever's there, but just making sure that you're getting those people interviewing. But that's a lot easier.
Slows down the number of men that you're going to be able to interview, right? And so then that makes you be more choosy with them, which is kind of a good thing, I guess. But you have to find that point where it will make the difference. I think that's something I had to work on in Clojure Sync, is finding that point, because I was doing like 50-50 invites at first. Right, so I'd invite a man, I'd invite a woman, I'd invite a man, and that wasn't working. So I thought it would, and it didn't. So I had all my male slots filled already, like after 3 weeks, and none of the women's spots filled. So I had to pull out other tactics.
Yeah, the code of conduct for Clojure North is really nice. They did a really good job.
Awesome. Haven't read it.
Hey, are you going to give us a preview of your talk, Mike?
No, you have to go to Toronto to see it.
Oh, so far.
I think they're recording all of them too.
They're not live streaming, Mike.
Oh, during the talk? I think they're gonna like. Well, they are gonna record them. I don't know when they're gonna publish them.
Open up a Twitch stream. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Get with the youth.
I could try, yeah. I think the internet works up there, so yeah.
All right. Well, good luck on your talk, Mike.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, good luck. Looks like it's going to be a very interesting conference. Yeah.
We're kind of over the 30-minute mark of the hour. So should we go on to condition systems, which might take a long time, or should we go to the REPL exercise?
Yeah, let's just bail on that one and do the condition systems another time, I think.
Yeah, we'll move it to the next one. Okay.
That's a whole episode.
Yeah. So we're moving to the REPL, and we have a nice exercise, which is Pig Latin. We're going to write an English to Pig Latin translator, which you have to take so you take a string, it's got some words in it, and you have to take the first letter of the word, move it to the end of the word, and then add A to it. Now, Pig Latin is actually more complicated than that, but this is a simple version. We can maybe get to the complicated thing later.
I like the flavor image there. What is that? Where's that from? It's cute.
I don't know. It is a statue on some street corner somewhere. It is a Roman pig who speaks Latin. So do we have a REPL?
So
I'll share the screen.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Let me pin this guy.
I don't see anyone's names in it this time. Let's see. Me. I'm the running dude.
I think it's different on everybody's.
Yeah, I'm the running one on the shared one.
Yeah.
Let's get started.
By the way, just FYI, I've kind of like this one is a little bit like, I haven't done much with this tech for a while, because I'm going to do like a Clojure script version of this, because I think it tends to be too slow, this one. So, so hopefully next time it will be a Clojure script version of this.
Appears to be working.
Okay.
So is Pig Latin really that simple? Do you just
No.
take the letter, or has it got some conditional logic in it?
Yeah, I think it has to be the consonant, right? The first consonant. So, and then that means like if it's a consonant pair, like SH, yeah, CH, you have to get the H too, not just the first letter.
Well, and for words that start with vowels, so
you don't.
But some people put a hey at the end of it.
Okay.
It's either an A or a hey, like
the kind of
Well, let's start with this simple version, and we'll complexify it as we
enhance it afterwards. Yeah.
Yes, it'll be 80% Pig Latin. So who's gonna do it?
Let's see. Yeah, that CH thing scares me. Let's not deal with that right now. So it seems pretty simple to take the first letter off of a string, because you would just do rest, right, to get the rest of the string.
And then it's easy to remove the vowels. You could not do that if the vowels are a set, or if the first whatever is in the vowel set.
Do we have to strip the vowels out of the word? Is that?
Well, and then it's going to have a whole sentence. It's going to have a whole sentence, so we have to parse out the words, right?
Oh, so that went handle each word separately. Okay.
Yeah. So hello, apropos people would be elo hey, apropos a, equal pay.
My brain doesn't work this way. What the hell? All right. Hello, hey. All right.
Hello, hey.
Hello, hey.
So let's just work on that one.
I can't believe we're teaching Mike Pig Latin here.
No, it's just my brain does not work this way.
How does it work? You have to get rid of this.
Or yeah, everybody has to take it way that way.
So
I don't know.
And I thought this would be
God
easy.
I haven't done Pig Latin in such a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you evaluate in this thing? Hit Control Enter. Oh, I have to eval. Command Enter.
Okay, so your npig is not quite right here, because it wouldn't be propose a, it would be apropos a. You just attach the ay to the end. So for words that start with vowels, you don't remove the first vowel.
And is people, is it like play or people is a funny one, isn't it? It's a very weird sound coming through someone's speaker.
It's like a reversing
that's probably mine. Yeah. I'm in a dense urban startup environment. You can tell because of the bricks, the noises.
So is San Francisco going to become like one big incubator? Is that what's going to happen? Is that the end game?
I have thoughts. I not.
Where all public transportation is two-wheeled, is scooter.
Well, so it's important to understand that the reason why Uber and Lyft exist is not to make money, but rather to destroy public transit. So you have no choice but to pay for private transit once it's gone, which is why they're so cheap. Lyft lost $911 million last year. That's a net loss. They had a net loss of almost $1 billion. They're very, very heavily subsidized. And they're heavily subsidized not because they are expected to make money in any sense in their current iteration, but they're expected to make money after they've destroyed public transit, at which point they will have replaced the drivers with self-driving cars.
Is this another delightful adventure from Andreas Horowitz, I believe, Lyft? They got in late on Uber and they invested heavily in Lyft. So,
I mean, it's the same kind of business model. But I actually really like the scooters a lot.
Scooters?
Oh, yeah. They put all of these electric, like kick scooters.
Oh, okay.
Like there's like 500 different companies. And in fact, there should be one scooter company and it should be public transit because they're really useful for getting from like the train station to your house.
Right. The last mile.
They really do effectively solve the last mile problem. I think they're fantastic.
Yeah, sure. You can, and if even like a personal scooter, right? You could just put it in your backpack or something.
Yeah, the electric part really helps if you live in a place with a lot of hills.
Right. We don't have hills here.
Down in New Orleans.
Yeah, well, I remember when I worked in Switzerland and I went to, I worked remotely and I went to Switzerland and those guys had one of the guys had an electrical scooter. One of them,
they're fun.
They had a skateboard to come down the hill, electrical scooter to go back up the hill.
They're a lot of fun. People complain about them a lot, but I think that it's just a lack of there's no
respect for other people. Don't they just like leave them right in the middle of the sidewalk?
Yeah, so that's the problem. There's two problems here, right? One of them is that there's too many competing companies trying to do this for profit, which is very hard to make money on transit. And the other problem is there's no regulation for how they work. So you can just leave them wherever. You can scoot on the sidewalk. You can when in fact you should be in the bike lane because you're as fast as a bike. But if they were regulated and public transit, then they would be perfect. Like they solve so many problems.
Bikes and scooters to me are the way forward.
I love
bikes, scooters, and trains.
I think we should all be biking. We should make the cities smaller.
Yeah.
Get rid of the roads. Rip them up.
I was watching there's this TV show in Japan called My First Errand.
Oh yeah.
It's so
I know
cute.
You're gonna say that they don't have it's not as dangerous in Japan, but I know people who live in Japan who say that there's always like every month there's some horrible news story about how a person like drove off the road, they fell asleep at the wheel and like killed a whole school of kids, like a whole classroom full of kids. So I don't know if the statistics really add up.
I'd be interested to know that, because in terms of just like letting your children walk somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love that idea. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like having fewer cars on the road certainly makes that a lot safer.
For sure. Cars are the problem. And as a cyclist myself, are we working on this problem?
We're not even, are we like
the future of transportation.
Apropos urbanism chat.
Someone's working on it. Someone's doing Pigify.
Is that you, Eric?
That's me.
Okay.
Good, yeah.
But people blame the bikes. They're like, the bike came out of nowhere. It's like you're driving a 2-ton vehicle.
Yeah.
You need to look with all directions at all times.
I cycled from San Francisco to the Apple headquarters in Cupertino once. And I mean, it was mental because I went on the main road and shouldn't have done that. It's just like all these V8 trucks coming up and beeping their horns. I just want to make sure you know I'm there. It's like, I know you're there, woman. God, you know, you've got a huge throbbing monstrosity up my arse. Anyway, sorry.
All right, so I have a Pigify function. Let's see, it's going to take the first letter, so that's first S. It's going to take
the rest of it,
which is going to be subster S1, and then it's going
just
to
use subs, right?
F, R, F, and then A or A at the end.
Come on, Eric, don't use substrate, use subs. So we like that better.
Subst.
Yeah, don't use interrupt. Just use subs, S-U-B-S.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
It's in Clojure core. It's like one of the few string functions that's in Clojure core that should be.
It doesn't let me. It's because the T is not in my editor. It's not in my editor, but it's in somehow. It's.
Oh God.
The function's name is SUBS.
That's what I typed.
Okay.
But
I got you.
I put a T and then backspaced, and it does. Sorry, Ray. It's your fault.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
The wrong number of args passed to subs. How many args does it want?
2, at least.
2. I gave it 2. All right. I'm gonna backspace the whole thing. Start over. Subs.
Looks all right now.
1. Looks all right, but it doesn't. There we go. Woohoo!
Okay.
Hello, Herate. That sounds more Japanese to me, to be honest.
Hello, hey. Yeah, so we need to move that H too, right?
That's Mia gone, by the way.
Oh.
She just now popped off, yeah.
Oh, no.
Must just be a temporary thing because the hour isn't up. She must come back. Here we go. Yeah.
So I'm going to try another approach with using with a
We thought I'd lost you there for a minute, Mia.
Match.
Glad to know you're back.
So I'm going to try to match. Oh, can you do consonants in a regex? Is that possible? Does anyone know how to do
that would be cool. Like that would help with the CH problem. Or
well, non-vowels, I guess.
Well, can you do vowels?
A, E, I, O, U. You can have a class, can't you?
Oh, a class. Good call.
Okay. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so I'm going to do a negated class. A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U.
Mm-hmm.
So this only works for non-accented characters. Sorry, everybody in the rest of the world. And I'm going to do 2 of those. 2. And then the rest. Dot star. I hope that doesn't break anything. So this is going to be the F, and this is going. No, this is the that's going to be the R.
Okay.
And then, ooh, all right. Rematches.
Oh, yeah.
No, that didn't work. It didn't.
What's it meant to be?
Nil, nil. So it didn't match. Oh, of course. It should be optional, right? It should be 0 to 2.
Yeah, I don't know this syntax.
Not 0 to 2. Plus.
Plus, yeah.
A plus.
Okay. Or star. Everything at the beginning. Star. All the non-vowels at the beginning.
Okay.
Of course, it didn't work. Something didn't like something I did. Why is it nil nil? That can't possibly fail. It's star. I think there's something broken with it. Ah, there we go. Woohoo! Hello, hey, air they. Is that right? Mia's our resident Pig Latin.
Sounds Pig Latin.
It is correct. Ray, your REPL won't let me back in. Just sitting out here trying to access it.
Choose a different name. It's okay.
I did.
Oh, well, yeah. You've reached the max number of users.
So lonely. Okay. I'll just watch from afar.
Yeah.
Something broke.
You forgot a paren. Or not paren, the quotation mark.
I didn't forget it. It's there.
There.
Oh.
We just can't see it.
You can't see it, and I can't type it.
You can pick up from the history, and then you'll get it, Eric.
Looks good.
Well, the history doesn't have it either.
That looks good.
It does.
It's not in the history.
Yeah, look, I've got it there. You can see it.
Okay, there we go.
On the right, yeah.
Oh, I'm still doing the print line. I'm sorry. I didn't erase it. Here. No, that's not right. This one.
I'm looking at the show right now, and the REPL looks very blurry. Not sure if that's just my bad internet connection or if it's actually a problem.
Oh, you mean like on YouTube itself?
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking at on a low res?
No, yeah. But it's possibly a low res connection because my internet's bad.
Who uses the internet in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm using a HD connection, so. Yeah.
Mine looks okay. I'm seeing it.
All right, cool.
Pretty clear. Okay. Well, while we talked scooters, we also made a Pig Latin translator.
Do we want to get the CHs and?
Well, it does multiple letters.
Oh, that's true.
It does multiple consonants at the beginning.
Is there ever a situation where we wouldn't want that? Probably not.
Edge case.
I can't think of an edge case for that.
Yeah, and I can't remove the print line. I don't know how to get this to work.
This is Sean LeBron's fault, okay?
It's also having dependencies. That's the problem.
Oh, I see.
Write it all yourself.
Yeah. You know something? I did try that at the beginning. It doesn't work as well.
Yeah, don't do that. I spent the last 2 days. We want to use a library that's it's abandonware, and it relies on all of these other abandonware libraries. And I spent literally the last 2 days just making it able to run on Clojure 1.9. Never rely on yourself.
Do we have another test case that we might want to try?
Maybe like a single letter word, like the word A.
The word A should be fine, but let's test it. Does anyone have any actual Latin to type in here? Because if we can convert Latin to Big Latin.
Okay.
We could try to solve this capitalization issue.
Oh, that's a good one. Who's the Steindex? Ad astra porus del. I don't remember how to say pig.
Porcine.
Do we have any comments in the chat? I can't see them.
Oh.
No, they're all
Scared
terrible.
them off.
Yeah. They've given up on us.
Yeah.
It's ad astra per alice porci. That's what it was, to the stars and the wings of a pig.
Okay.
Semper ubi sub ubi.
Well, this is a lot of fun. Do we want to talk about the code?
See, so you have like a little made a Pigify helper.
Right, the single word Pigify star.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I thought it'd be harder than this.
Yeah.
I was about to do like new class, Pig Latin translator manager.
Yeah.
And make an interface, language to language translator, I language.
Were you going to break out the Instapars, were you? Right. Well, maybe we just, we just call it a day there. It's okay.
Yeah. We'll just talk about condition systems.
Yeah, I think we've only got 5 minutes left of this evening. Let's go back to scripters.
Yep. We could talk about the economic conditions that led to Clojure winning the salary wars.
Don't do this to me.
Damn.
There's probably something about it being Clojure being finance and US skewed.
And someone, I think Simon in the comments, said that you can pay Clojure devs more because you have to pay less of them, or fewer of them rather. That's probably also true.
Are we saying that Clojure programmers are like 3x, 2x? One Clojure programmer is worth 2 JavaScript programmers?
I mean, you do have to write less Clojure code than you do, say, Java code.
Right.
You can type it in faster.
Yeah.
It doesn't take you that long to type it in.
So if you're paying by the hour.
And when you commit to Git, it doesn't take as much time to commit.
You can have
that. Sure, commits faster because the code is smaller.
Right. Yeah. Smaller hard drive space. All those little things add up.
Add up. Yeah.
I think actually this REPL is a big thing. Because you probably. This sounds a bit weird, but I think you do tend to get things more correct more quickly because of the REPL.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a bit of a stretch, but
There's a lot less infrastructure. There's a lot less boilerplate. There's a lot less.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah, like you can just work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And so are Clojure programmers like recouping some of that cost savings? Is that what's going on? Like the businesses are like, yeah, we'll pay you more because you're more efficient, so we'll give you some of that back.
That seems like a pretty reductive argument, to be honest.
Just don't think about it.
Something's going on. Ruby programmers are paid pretty well. You know, they're up on the top half of that graph.
That surprised me, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But don't Ruby programmers, I mean, again, maybe it's a bit of a generalization, but Ruby programmers skew a bit older as well. It tends to be a second language. A lot of people have went from JavaScript or Java to Ruby.
But it's also the most common bootcamp language.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's also a beginner language. Yeah.
Does anyone have the graph to show on the screen?
Could I get that up on my
show notes?
Who's sharing the REPL right now?
I'll stop
share that graph instead.
Yeah, hold on. There we go.
I'm sure everyone has seen it and memorized the graph by now. Yeah.
Let's see. Can I do this? Can I present?
You can just share an application or a window. It's fine.
Right. I'm trying to figure out what buttons to press.
It's this little green one on the left-hand side.
Oh, that one. Okay. Application window. That one.
I see it, but it's not zoomed in or not selected yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Apropos, the show where you can watch programmers try to use software live.
There we are.
Awesome.
Nice and big. Is that showing to everyone?
It's literally a red planet. Yeah.
It's a red planet up there on the right. So it says number of respondents 10,000, but really that's just one. It's just Nathan Mars. Yeah.
Exactly. But he's got to make more than 90,000.
Yeah, that's holding the average down, if anything.
That is weird,
God.
though.
I just read this. The actual average years of professional programming experience is also tracked on the bottom axis there. That's where the bottom axis is. Right. So it's literally saying Clojure has more people who've been programming longer.
Yeah.
And that tracks with being paid more.
Yeah.
Unless you work for Google.
But this blue line is the fit line. And you know, people below the line are making less than the people above the line for the same amount of experience.
Yeah, I'm actually more interested in that cluster of like people who are being paid more for and also have fewer years of experience.
So like the Rust group right there, Rust, Ruby.
It's really interesting. Yeah, although I guess 8 years is still a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like
very long time.
Like, what's the language you want to be in if you want to get paid a lot and you're just starting out? Something like Kotlin, R.
You need to see the individual curves or something.
Yeah.
They've summarized it too much.
Right. They summarized it with an average too. It's not.
Yeah, and you're still starting the graph with 8 years average. Like if you look at the actual scale of that graph, I'm sorry, you're starting the graph with 7 years average. Like that's where it starts here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. When most people have less than 6, right? It's crazy.
I think what's interesting in generic terms, though, is that there's quite a lot of functional languages that are above the line.
Yep. And Haskell is not represented. Last year, maybe I should try to pull up last year's one. But last year, Haskell was down like under the line.
That's because all 3 Haskell programmers responded last year.
And they're all working in academia.
And they're all working in academia,
Let's see. So
they get summers off.
So can you, like, if you look at the dot size, 10,000 is like the size of the Go circle, maybe, or the Clojure circle is half of that, or makes you wonder like how many people are in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. I think you can download the data, right? And like this graph is trying to show too many variables at the same time. It's just it's a little nuts. And it's summarizing the years of experience with an average, and the salary is a median. Whereas we know that the years of experience is not a normal curve, so like the average probably is not the right summary.
Yeah. Stack Overflow.
Yeah, like you could do this where you just graph them, like as you learn languages, and you know put them all in the same graph with different colors. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
So you learn Clojure, like this is what your curve should look like, your salary curve.
Objective-C, people have been programming for a long time and don't make as much. They just need to get off that boat.
But I think again, it's like
they had no choice. I guess they can move to Swift. But it's like
yeah, but I think
they don't get paid.
They make paid less. It looks like it.
But Objective-C, you've got a lot of Indians and Chinese people who just just because of their currency, they might be living a good life, but according to US dollars, it just doesn't translate into very much.
True.
The geographic distribution comes back. Really, the title of this graph would be "Stop Doing Java,"
or move to the US.
Yeah.
Last year, I'm gonna find last year's.
Well, actually, my guess is that 90K say 70K in the US is probably not worth shit compared to half of that somewhere else.
The median salary in the US is like 65.
Moving to the US doesn't really help you, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, this is last year's graph.
Sure, yeah, it depends where you are. Yeah.
Oh, look, they started last year's graph at a lower number of years of professional programming experience.
Well, it's the average, so it's weird.
But they started last year's graph at a lower number of average years of professional programming
experience. Because MATLAB was in there.
So this one has, it doesn't have it. It used to have, I thought it had this is by language, this is by developer type. Never mind. I thought it had the US versus the world.
Hey, Nathan Morris was in there last year too.
But look, the average age of the respondents' Clojure experience has gone up. Yeah. So I guess some
it's gone up more than 1 year,
learned how to use the internet. Some old Clojure
or people just stopped responding.
Yeah.
Talking of stopping responding, I'm afraid I'm going to have to love you and leave you.
Yeah.
It's time to go to work.
Call it quits. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should get going. All right, everyone.
All right. Bye, all.
Thank you so much. If you wanna learn more, you want to see another one of these, follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube. See you later.
We have 800 subscribers. Oh my gosh.
Definitely, we'll make it more fun next time though than this.
I know this one was pretty sad.
This one we knocked it out of the park. Come on.
A little divergence.
We're not earning our salaries on this one.
Please come back for more.
This will be the most popular one by far. Yeah. Scooter podcast.
Who knows with him? We've got to get a cat involved next time. That's what I'm saying.
Next time, our REPL exercise will be a little harder. We're going to figure out, like, if you want to get to work the fastest and the cheapest, what modes of transportation do you use? You use the scooter for the first 3 blocks, and then you hop on a train, and then you buy a car.
We'll do it all in a conditional system, okay?
It's just like linear equations, right? You just figure out. Okay.
All right.
See you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.